If you put your onion in the freezer 10 minutes before chopping it, it reduces the tears that happen. Also, TikTok won't let me show a knife, but if you wet your knife before chopping, that helps too. The best way to clean your bathtub is with dish soap, because think about it, when you bathe, you're washing off all your body oil, dirt, and skin, especially if you use one of these little scrubber things and just like clean it as you shower. If you're chopping jalapenos or just cooking with anything spicy in general, the best way to get that off your hands so you don't like burn your eyes or your partner or anything is vegetable oil. If your car's been sitting in the sun for a while and it's too hot to get in, the quickest way to cool it off is by rolling down one side window and with the other side just pumping the hot air out. It takes less than a minute. If there's someone riding my ass, I don't brake check because that's dangerous. So instead, I like to just hit my windshield wiper fluid, that way it flies back and hits them and lets them know that they're way too fucking close. If you're driving in an area with a lot of stoplights, usually if you just go the exact speed limit, you'll only hit greens. Speed limit's 40 right now, so I'll go 40. There's 1, 2, 3. I even got the green arrow. If your parents did this, they were kind of shitty, and you should make sure that you don't take this shitty thing with you and do it to your kid. Teasing you about your romantic interest, okay? This shit isn't cool and it only kills your confidence and then delays your emotional growth. Telling your embarrassing childhood stories as entertainment or dinner party talk, using your humiliation to make their friends laugh, only builds resentment and breaks trust. Treating you like a therapist. It's okay to talk about some worries, but when they're constantly complaining about every little problem to you, it's emotionally draining and the full fallout won't even hit you until like 10, 20 years down the line. Parents should support their kids, not the other way around. I think we all need just one big group therapy session. What do you guys think? If you're ever watching a show and you like the outfit of a character, what you can do is go to this website called Worn on TV and find exactly what they're wearing. See, like I really like Spencer's shirt in this episode, so I went to the website and there it is at Nordstrom for $93. Fuck that shit. When you go to college, please don't be the dummy that buys the textbook that you're never going to use again at full price. When I was in school, I used this website called Slug Books, where all you have to do is type in the ISBN of your book and it'll actually compare the prices of all these different websites. So it used to be $220, but you can get it for $100 or you can rent it for like $70, which is awesome. If you're not sure what to cook for dinner, there's this website called Supercook where you can enter every food you have in the fridge and it'll tell you what meals you can make with it. You might not see much here, but what the website sees is a vodka Red Bull with some pineapple. Instead of buying lottery tickets, start buying like cheap stocks instead, okay? Because you're gonna get the same rush of gambling because it is gambling, but your odds of getting rich off that shit are way higher. Hey, look at me using my math degree. Okay, so the X% of Y is the Y% of X. It makes mental math so much easier. So like 7% of 50 is 50% of 7, which is 3.5. If you're ever bored in class or like need to get out of a fucking meeting, just stand up and walk out of the room staring at your phone very quickly. Nobody's gonna fucking question you and it's gonna give you time to think of a decent excuse. If you have a hard time taking pills, try remembering this, okay? If it's a tablet, swallow with your chin up because it sinks. But if it's a capsule, swallow with your chin down because it floats. So whenever your child's watching TV, make sure that you put on the subtitles, okay? That way they learn spelling and verbal skills at the same time. So if you're a smoker and you can't quit or you really don't want to quit, try drinking more black tea, okay? Because it's been proven to prevent lung damage caused by smoking. If you have a hard time taking pills, try remembering this, okay? If it's a tablet, swallow with your chin up because it sinks. But if it's a capsule, swallow with your chin down because it floats. So whenever your child's watching TV, make sure that you put on the subtitles, okay? That way they learn spelling and verbal skills at the same time. So if you're a smoker and you can't quit or you really don't want to quit, try drinking more black tea, okay? Because it's been proven to prevent lung damage caused by smoking. If the battery is dead, when you drop it, it'll bounce all over the place. But if it's good, it'll just drop. Whenever you host a party, create a Spotify playlist and have the link to it on the invite and have everybody add a couple songs because people love hearing their favorite songs at parties and then you don't have to worry about picking out music. If you're ever on an annoying phone call, just turn your phone on airplane mode. That way the person you just hung up on will see call failed instead of call ended. You know when you reheat food in the microwave and some parts of it are hot enough to burn your mouth and the other part of it is frozen? Well, that happens because you shouldn't actually have your food in the middle of the plate here. It should be on the edge so it can actually rotate around and cook evenly. If you want to save some time and cook two things at once, just add a mug in here for some height distribution. If you're going to reheat something like pasta or pizza or something, add a small cup of water in there to keep it moisturized, but to stop it from getting too chewy. You parents out out there need to start making your kids help out around the house, because I am tired of meeting people my own goddamn age that are just amazed that I know how to do my own laundry or clean a fucking toilet. By age 2 or 3, they should be able to help with just like basic stuff, like cleaning up their toys or setting the table or putting their dish in the sink after eating. By age 4 or 5, there shouldn't be too much responsibility, but they should be able to clean their own room and help a little bit around the kitchen. Around 6 to 9, this is when they can start helping around the house, you know, like sweeping the floors, washing their own dishes, or folding and putting away laundry. By 10 to 12, this is when I learned how to mow a lawn, do my own laundry, and by that time I was making like really easy meals for the family. By age 13 and up, this kid should be a little bit more self-sufficient, being able to take care of themselves and take care of their surroundings. But hey, you do what you want with your own kid. I might have just grew up a little bit too fast, you know, being the oldest and then being in foster care. But to be fair, I did move out at 18 and was able to take care of myself. If you have a jar or container that you really just can't seem to open, run it under hot water for a few seconds, and then once you dry it, it should just open right up. I've never not had this work. If you're constantly making a routine but then just dropping it the next day because you're too tired to follow through, try making 3 different routines, okay? One for a low energy day, a mid energy day, and a high energy day. It's a lot easier to stick to it. So in LA, they're telling us to wear masks again. And one thing that always annoyed me was how my sunglasses would fog up when I wear both. So one thing I learned to get rid of that is by adding a little bit of dish soap to the glasses, rubbing it in, and then not washing it off with water, just wiping them off. The fog shouldn't exist after that. You guys know that you can flip things in a pan by just flipping the pan? You've been using a can opener wrong this whole time, dude. It doesn't go sideways. It's supposed to go flat like this. And then you twist it along this way. Okay, so I just did the whole thing the flat way, and look, the can opens the correct way without having to dig your fingers around in there. If you want to quickly stop a pot of water from boiling over, just put a wooden spoon on top of it. This works because the wood is hydrophobic, which means that it can't absorb the water, and instead it just punctures the surface tension of the bubbles. You know, washing your jeans all the time isn't really the best for them. It can actually do more damage. So instead, you should try freezing them every once in a while. So all you gotta do is take your jeans, roll them out, brush them out, whatever, and then put them in the freezer for just a couple hours. The cold will kill any of the bacteria that makes them smell, and you'll have jeans that last way longer. When you're using a cutting board and it's time to transfer the food into a different bowl, going like this is fine, but sometimes you spill. So instead, put it through this little hole. It's way more precise. If you're ever moving, an easier way to pack up all your clothes that are on hangers is by using a few trash bags. All you gotta do is wrap the bag around the clothes, wrap the tie around the hangers, and then you'll pack up your whole closet in just a couple minutes.